So thank you, Roger. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ralf Kolb. I like to talk about saving of quality of your grain in your store. You have seen before a good quality store, and you have seen good quality elevator, and now we have to look about the grain to save the quality of the grain in the store. You see here a picture from a farmer who like to have a good quality and a good volume. You see here a picture from a miller who like to have a good quality and a good volume, and what is between the grain lay in a store. And it's not like stones that you bring in the stones and after 1 year out or after 3 months out and it's the same stone. No, grain lives also after cutting, after harvesting, and gives energy and water to the air around and take off energy and water from the air around. So you have to look about your grain. I like to talk about grain store management, why cooling principle, advantages, and one picture from Frigortec in Germany. You know, from FAO was published always around 20% of the worldwide harvest of cereals are waste in the storing time, in the store. This is around 85 million tons. Double number as in Germany is each year harvested. And it comes from insects, 80%, this is the main point, from fungi, and also 10% rodents and birds. About that you have to look. And this is the theoretical thing. Your grain is with around 69% carbohydrates, and these carbohydrates from the grain take off oxygen from the air around. You get CO2, this is not a problem, but water and heat is coming out. And this is the main point while you are storing time. And so you have heat and water in the grain bulk, and that you have to bring to take out. This is the important point. If you do things bad, it can look like stacked. You see here your grain, it's like rocks, and it's at the end waste, and you lose a lot of money. So we come to the weevils. Maybe you know, if you have a store, you know this Cytophilus granarius, grain weevil or another one, and if the temperature is fine, they will come in your store, and when they are in the store, it looks like that. They eat your money. And from 2 of these insects, you will get, if temperature is in right condition, you get in 3 months, 1 to 3 months, 4,000. It's like an explosion. Yes, and they eat your money. That's that. I heard always this in the world, this is going on. And when we look about the temperature, we see the field beginning with 15, 20 degrees, the development starts. So you should store your grain lower than 20, better lower than 15 degrees. Because this is red field. Here you see the temperature on side left. In this red field is best situation for grain weevil. And the another one is like, I would say similar. Yeah, rice beetle, rice weevil like to have a little bit higher temperature. But when we look about the grain weevil, it starts with 15, latest at 20 degrees. So you should store your grain cooler. We come to the fungi. Fungi is, yeah, this picture. When you have very bad situation in your store, we come to this one. This is the theoretical point with time. Fungi comes from field with the grain in your store, the primary fungi or field fungi. And then in the store they change to the secondary fungi or store fungi. And the metabolism of the store fungi or secondary fungi are mycotoxin. So it can be that you get in your store while during the storing time you get more mycotoxin. So, and here you see the most important, the 10 most important secondary fungi. We have to look about number 5. This is Aspergillus glaucus. Here, this yellow color about this. And you see, if temperature is lower than 20 degrees, here we have the temperature of the grain. Here we have the grain moisture content. And moisture content is lower than 14.5. Then you are in here white field, no secondary fungi, and from this no added mycotoxin in your store. And this is very, very important for all people in the world, all who eat grain, because mycotoxin are very strong. They are not dead after bakery of bread, because it's very stable, the mycotoxin, and you will have it also when you bake your bread. It's still in. But also you have to look about rodents and birds. Rodents I see everywhere in the stores. I'm traveling all the time in the world and see stores. Monitoring of rodents, it's done very well in each stores. But you also have to look about the birds. Here you see a picture from the Taiyo mill in Fukuoka, Japan. You see here the green mesh. Here on the top is also a dark or a gray mesh. You cannot really see it, but it's there, I know it. And when here on site is a flat store, when a truck going in, they close always the mesh, so no birds can going in. Yes, take mesh and keep your store dark, then the birds will not going in. This is more a problem in flat stores than in silos. When we look about the cooling circle, at the end it's very simple. The cooler, you see here the cooler, take off environmental air. Equal if raining, snowing, nebula, hot or cold, no sense. The cooler take this air and produce a cold and dehydrated air. The air is now dry and cold and filtered. So, and then you need an air distribution system. Here you see a perfect air distribution system that the flow through the grain is very fine. And at the top, very important, you need windows, or nowadays always we have fans on the top of a silo or in a flat store. From our side it's not needed, but it's there, it helps a little bit fine. This fan on the top do not need a high pressure difference, because he take only the air from the headroom to outside. No pressure difference, but same volume than the fan of the cooler. And the cooler have a lot of pressure, brings the air through the headroom or also outside. What does the cold and dry air do? The cold and dry air take off energy and water in the grain, and this is the point. And then you, after your grain is safe, because no insect population and no secondary fungi, and also not so much dry substance losses, but this is in this area not the big point. Here in this area are the big points. Secondary fungi from that, from metabolism, the mycotoxin and the insects. So what's going on? You have a store. Normally the grain comes with a temperature around 30 or 32 degrees. This is an example from Abu Dhabi, the big store in the harbour here. and you have here a cooler connected to the store. You set 15 degrees, and after the first day on the bottom, temperature will be much lower. At the top, temperature is still high. Next day, a little bit more is cold. It's like a stamp. It goes the cold zone through the silo. 11th day, it's nearly finished with cooling. You have here a fine temperature, and you need one more day, and then the complete grain is cold. So, important is to clean, always to clean the silo before the new grains come, to clean the air distribution system, the elevator, and. This is very important. And against beetles, cooling, against meats, you need very dry grain, lower than water activity from 0.6. Against birds, gnats, and dark store, cats and dogs, keep your store closed, and rodents do monitoring. Yes, this is a picture, always the same situation, small cooler and very large silo. We do this business worldwide. In this year, we have birthday, 60 years, Granny Frigortec grain cooler, who was developed in 1963 with the University of Düsseldorf in Germany. Yeah, this is our factory. And I come to the end. Grain is alive also after harvest. You can have problem, the process brings water and heat into your grain mass. Problems are insects and fungi, and the grain cooling is a natural solution. Many thanks for your listening.